4. I said 4, 5, and 6. You can just put that away and get your pencil. 4, 5, and 6. I told you we're all going to be the same, right? I wasn't lying. You're going to see today we're going to find slope. We're going to find y-intercept. And we're now just going to throw it in the equation. That's it. Okay? So it's not going to be much different except putting it into an equation. So if you struggled on 4 and 5, unit 4 and 5, you should have been in tutoring. Okay, so if you will take your yellow highlighter or highlight your M or whatever color you want to use, but you're going to have to use the same one as you go down below. And then your B will be green. Okay, so now I'm going to take my yellow highlighter. If you just click on the highlighter, it's where you can change your colors. And I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to highlight every number in front of the X. I'm going to highlight every number in front of the X. Yellow, because that's what color I did my M. I did my B, my y-intercept green. So I'm going to highlight the number after my X with green. You're also going to see, this is nice because if you're one that has a hard time of seeing, look, you can blow it up and then you don't even have to write as small. So you can actually do it where you're looking at one problem at a time. Okay? So now I'm going to go back to a pen and I'm going to write my slope, which is the number in front of my X, and my M's. So I see a 3 is my slope on number 1. And on my B, my y-intercept, it is 5. So if I look at number 2, I see in front of my X, it is -7. And my y-intercept, my B, is 4. I now look at number 3. What is my slope? 2. Good. And my y-intercept, do you see there's a minus in front of it? So we're going to say it's a -1. So if there is a minus in front of it, you're going to take the sign with it. Okay? Number 4. What is my slope? 3/4. What is my y-intercept? 8. Number 5, what is my slope? -1/3. B, -2. Perfect. And the last one, what is my slope? 6/5. And my y-intercept? Perfect. Now, we are going to look down here. Let's go ahead and rewrite our y equals mx plus b. I am now just going to plug my numbers where they go. It says my slope is 4, so I plug that in front of the x. And it says my y-intercept is 2, so I put +2. Okay, number 2. My slope is -3. I have to put an x behind my slope. +5. Do not write it like this. If you do that, don't even write that on your paper. If you do that, you're telling me y is 2. Do you see? Because you would combine those because they didn't have a variable. Do not forget to put your x. Okay? 3. Is this saying it has heavy traffic?
That is what it said, but I told him like also he's trying to let them in it without them being in the driver's lights. And I told him that it won't work like that.
So we have 2 over 3x minus 6. And number 4, y equals negative 1/2 x plus 12. Perfect. Okay, more than likely, they are not just going to have something that simple. Okay? They will give it like you're normally used to. A graph, a table, or order pairs. And you'll know how to find the slope and y-intercept from that. So that's exactly where we're going. Okay, so we're going to m equals b equals. We have a table. If I have a table, how do I find my slope and y-intercept? How do I find my slope and y-intercept? In your calculator, stack calc 4, enter. While you're doing that, I'm going to tell you, if you're ever absent, there is a green link on the hub that says completed notes. At the end of the day, I will put the completed notes on there. So you could actually do a split screen, or you could do a split screen with my video. So do we understand? They will be on there if you need to go back and check something that you wrote and go, ooh, I'm not sure what that is. So that will be on there. All my completed notes at the end of the day will be there every day. We take notes. So that's what the green link will be. Right now, it just has your first 2 pages of the slide, because I'm not putting them on there before y'all come to my class. Okay. So when you put that in your calculator, what was your slope? 1.5. And what was your y-intercept? 5. Perfect. Now, what if they don't have 1.5 as an answer choice? Now, they usually do these as a slide, okay? They would have y equals with a box, x plus with a box. And you'd have to slide your answer in. That's the way they were doing these now, okay? So, what if they didn't have 1.5 as an answer choice and had it as a fraction? Everybody go to a normal calculator. Yeah, how about you go get it? And put in 1.5 and hit math enter. And what did you get? So do you see either one of those could be in an answer? Okay, so let's write it as a fraction. Y equals 3 over 2x plus 5. Okay, let's do number 2. M, which is your A in your calculator, B. So everybody go to your calculator, throw those in. What is your slope? 2. What is your y-intercept? Oh, some of y'all are rock stars and already have your y equals mx plus b written. So y equals, perfect, 2x plus 4. Step there. I just wanted you to know why I did different. Okay. Okay. Oh, and as you see, we have two threes there. I'm gonna change that one over there to 4. So in which is our slope, and b, which is our y-intercept. What is your slope? What is your y-intercept? So I would write that as y equals? Good. Y equals 3x minus 1. And number 4. Put that one in. Okay, what was my slope? Okay, what is my y-intercept? What if they don't have decimals as an answer choice? Change it to a fraction. How do I do that? Go to a normal calculator. But they could have negative 2.5 as an answer choice. So I'm letting you know that's not always going to be written as a fraction. Okay, so don't panic. But I need you to know most of the time they will write as a fraction. So I need you to know how to do that. So what is the other, what would your fraction be? Perfect. So y equals negative 5 over 2x plus 20. So it is what we've been doing in Unit 4 and Unit 5. Now I'm just throwing it into an equation. Okay, let's go to our graphs. First thing, let's write our cute little name on it so we can see if it's positive, negative. This is also good practice. On the STAR test, they won't give you paper. Well, I mean, you'll have a, what we have? You will have a formula chart and a piece of graph paper. But the STAR test actually has a writing tool that you can write and run like this on it. So if you get used to using this, I think it's going to help. Okay? We've never done this before, so. Y'all are my first group to ever get this done. Rise and run. How many am I rising? 4. And look, you can make it big enough where you can write in that. How many am I running? 3. So my slope is 4 over 3. And what is my y-intercept? What is my y-intercept? Where's it? Okay, let's do this. Here's my y-axis. Where's it crossing that? And I just heard it, a 3. And if you need to, you could go 1, 2, 3. It is crossing at 3. So to write that, I would write it as y equals, don't forget the y equals, 4/3 x plus 3. Number 2, write your name. Positive or negative? Negative. So I'm going to go ahead and put a negative by my slope so I don't forget that. Okay, let's go ahead and find our y-intercept. Where is my y-intercept at? -1. Good. You can say, there's 0, 0. It's below it, so I know it has to be in negative. And then I'm going to rise and I'm going to run. How many am I rising? 3. How many am I running?
2.
Perfect. So I would write that as y equals 3/2, negative 3/2x minus 1. Okay, now over here we're going to, from 2 points. Well, what is the first thing I must do if I have 2 points? What must I do? Don't I have to make a table? And remember where that comma is? That's where my line is going to go. So I write 3, 5. Do you see that side by side just like that's written? And 6, 7. Side by side just like that's written. Now I can go to my calculator. And you're going to do just like what we were doing. You're going to find your slope and your y-intercept. You just don't have as much to put in there. That's a 7. Okay, so what did your slope say? Okay, so 0.6 repeating, right? Ignore the 7 at the end. Always ignore that. Okay, so go to a normal calculator. Put in 0.6 with a bunch of 6s behind it. You got to put a bunch of 6s because there wasn't just one 6. And then hit math, enter, enter. If it doesn't give you a fraction and just repeats what you just typed, you didn't give it enough 6s. And what is that as a fraction? Perfect. What was your y-intercept?
3.
Good. So y equals 2/3 x plus 3. number 2. We must write it. Side by side. Was your slope? 1, and what was your y-intercept? Now, you could write that as y equals 1x, but they would never have that written like that on the STAR test. They would just have x. If it's a letter by itself, it's understood to be 1 in front of it. Okay? So x plus 3. I would not count it wrong if you put a 1, but they would not have a 1. Okay, so the next slide, we are just reviewing whether they're positive or negatives. So you are going to write your name on those. Your name on it. See what happens to your name. See how I put my name on it? Put your name on it and look and see, is my name going up or down? Okay, number 1. Is my name going up or down? Up, so that's a big positive. Number 2. Is my name going up or down? Down, so that's negative. So do you see that now? Okay. So C, is my name going up or down? Down. So that's negative. Ooh. What's D doing? 0. 0, remember his cheeks are 0. Undefined is up and down. And look at your answer choices. Undefined wasn't even a choice. And what about E? Positive. Perfect. Now we're just going to practice just doing some slope. So here we go. First, we're going to write our name on it to figure out if it's positive or negative. Okay, so is my A positive or negative? Positive. Now I'm going to rise and run. How many am I rising? 1. How many am I running? 2. So 1/2. Write your name. Positive or negative? Negative. How many am I rising? 2. How many am I running? So 2 over 1, or you could just write -2. Okay, C. Positive or negative? Negative. Rise and run. How many am I rising? 2. How many am I running? 4. Which reduces to -1/2. Good. D, positive or negative? Positive. How many am I rising? E. Let's circle our numbers on our side. I'm going from 12 to 24. I'm going 12. Do you see that? They're trying to get you with those numbers, so be very, very careful with that. Okay? Now I'm going from 2 to 8. How many is that? 6. And what is 12 over 6? It's what? 2. Okay, my next one, positive or negative? Negative. Rise and run. How many did I rise? Ooh, good job, 2. I heard my 2. Good job, Chloe. 4 to 6. Make sure your son's right. Awesome. 4 to 6 is a 2 jump. Do you see they're not going by ones? Okay? And how many did I run? Now, the x-axis is going normal. How many did I run?
44.
Good. If you need to put numbers in there, put numbers in there. So 2 over 4 reduces to? -1 over 2. Perfect. Okay, let's look at this one. First of all, positive or negative? Positive. So I can't work out an answer right now because they're both positive. But let's look. Where is it crossing my y-axis? At 2. So guess what? If you look at your answer choices, you could already get rid of 1. But let's go ahead and check to make sure we really didn't do something wrong. And I'm going to rise and run. How many am I rising? 3. If you need to, you can totally do that. You can number up the sides. 3 over how many? 1. So my slope, or my number in front of my x, has to be 3. And my y-intercept was 2. So that's perfect. Look at the next one. Where's it crossing my y-axis? At 0.
Are you writing everything on that?
Oh, that didn't help me any. They're both at 0, 0. Positive or negative exponent? Positive or negative exponent? Positive slope, sorry, a slope, not exponent. Slope, they're both positive, so that didn't help me any. Now, if you told me my y-intercept was 0, do I have to go from dot to dot that they gave me? Can't I go from my y-intercept up and over? You could go from your dot to dot, but then you'd have to reduce. So how many am I rising? 2. How many am I running? So my slope would have to be 2 over 3. So is that your first answer or your second answer? Your first. Do you see how they have it flip-flopped? Just in case. Okay, positive or negative? Positive. Okay, let's look at this. Just because they only did a 1 quadrant, oh well. Where is it crossing my y-axis? Okay, what's halfway between 0 and 2? 1. So if I'm looking at my answer choices, I could probably mark that one out. But let's check ourselves. I'm rising and I'm running. How many did I rise? Yes, good. Because I jumped from 4 to 10, right? That's 6. And how many did I run? 2. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. And yep, that is correct. Okay, you do the last one. Positive or negative slope? Negative, good. So what's got to be negative? The number in front of the x or the number after the x? In front. Do you see how to get rid of dumb answers? Okay? But let's keep checking. Starts at 50. Starts at positive 50, so that also helps. And then I'm going to pick another pretty point. How many did I rise? 10, good. How many did I run? 2. And 10 divided by 2 is? 5. And you already told me it was negative. Okay, let's do one more. Jordan tried to write an equation for this line and he made a mistake. We're going to say what he did wrong. So we're not even going to look at his equation. We're going to find our slope and our y-intercept. Then we'll look at his equation. What is his y-intercept? 7. Perfect. Positive or negative slope? Negative. Now I can rise and run. And it doesn't matter which dots you use. How many did I rise? 3. How many did I run? Which is the same thing as negative 3. So let's write the correct equation. Y equals, how would I write that? Minus plus 7. What did he do? He flip-flopped his slope and his y-intercept. So, our success criteria today is I can write an equation to model a linear relationship. That means you can write an equation and y equals mx plus b. How do you feel about that? You feel like you can do that? Feel like you're successful on that? Good job. So, as I told you, it's not much different, is it? No. Okay, so tomorrow when we come in, it's going to say go to Notability. We don't even have to waste time doing what we did today. Okay? So you're going to change your name tags, clear out your calculator, and put your iPad away.